Hello and welcome to the Vultpod number 5. Okay, so on the big subjects today, I put out my first episode of the Big Question series, Do Black Lives Matter? If you haven't seen that yet, please go see it. If you don't want to see it, well, then I guess that's your problem. Okay, so on more uh, gaming type notes, on a gaming note, I have recently begun modding Mount and Blade. I've got myself a module that I'm modding right now. It's not a Python mod, it's a text mod, so don't expect me to put in major game changing things. However, I will give you some ideas as to what to expect. I've expanded the troop trees and I have integrated the bandits into the troop trees of their corresponding factions. Uh, and I have also added a few new units for the bandits. I've also upgraded the caravan masters to make them a bit tougher in a fight. Additionally, I am in the process of adding music, custom music. I am not replacing the game's music. I am, in fact, adding custom music. I might eventually make a tutorial on how to do that without having to replace the main game's music. Because I have looked on the Tail Worlds forums and they don't seem to be really talking about how to do that on a TXT mod. Uh, I have seen them show how to replace the music, but I have not seen them show how to just add music. So I am doing that. I figured it out myself. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is go into the music.txt, um, and you see the files that the music is taking from, and the numbers after the files indicate the conditions in which the song is played. And all you have to do is add a new file name and the same conditions as another song, and it will randomly pick between the two. Uh, so, for example, in a victory, there's a certain songs that play in victory, and if you want to add your own, just do what I just said. Just put in the name of a song, including the file extension name. I'm not sure as to how flexible the program is regarding this. I personally use the .ogg. Uh, I think WAV files might work, but I haven't tried it. I can experiment with that and perhaps tell you if you comment and ask me to do it, I'll do it. Um, and also, another thing to be sure is put your module specific music inside the music folder inside the module, and make sure that the module specific music is enabled on the .ini. And on other notes, this mod, um, the bandit parties have an increased size, makes it a little bit tougher, a bit more of a challenge. You have to be a bit more strategic with where you go, because a lot of them have pretty decent pathfinding. So early in the game, they will almost always be faster than you. So when moving from town to town, it's always a good idea to follow a path of castles to take refuge in when you get followed by maybe 500 forest bandits, as might happen in my mod. Some good times playtesting it I've had. Now I'm talking like Yoda. Yoda. Star Wars. I haven't seen the new Star Wars movie. Uh, by that I mean the Star Wars 7. I mean, unless this thing comes out much later, it people will automatically assume that's what I'm talking about. members of my family have. Some of them like it, so I think maybe eventually when it comes out on DVD. But since it's Disney, perhaps not, because as some may know, Disney always highly values their DVDs. They always place a high price on them. So, on another note, Star Trek. I haven't seen the Abrams films. I don't know if I want to. I've seen scenes from them, some clips. I'm not sure I like the art style. I mean, I'm not a TOS or TNG purist, but still, I don't think that's going in the right direction. And as I've heard some commentary, I think the level of technological advancement might make making a series out of it a bit awkward, because you have to explain away things such as why can't they do this, why can't they do this. It's like in Voyager when you're thinking, well, they can't beam up when the shields are up. Oh well, I guess they can this episode. Yeah, problematic science on that. Uh, so if you have any ideas as to things I should do in my mod, if you have any tips on TXT modding, or if you want any tips on TXT modding, do ask in the comments below. That's what they are for. Uh, I currently don't have millions of subscribers launching thousands of comments on my videos. So if a comment is late in one of my videos, I will probably most likely get to it, unless for some reason I can't access YouTube. I hope my account doesn't get taken down. I mean, I haven't done anything against the community rules, so I don't suppose it would. But you never know. Life always gives you some hard turns, and sometimes you have problems, sometimes you don't. Every day is its own day. Every opportunity is its own opportunity. Okay. As to videos, as some of you may know, or most of you that watch my videos frequently, which all two or three of you, that's how small my viewer base is right now. They don't even watch all my videos. They've only subscribed and just left me alone. I haven't put out much videos recently. I hope to increase that in soon, and I'm hoping to get on with it with a Blood and Steel. Hopefully, doing some finishing that massive battle of Rivacheg. I think that has to finish somehow, because that is just taking way too long. I mean, it's not that I don't like fighting the same battle over and over again, because I do quite enjoy it. I do enjoy using video games to slaughter fictional people. I mean, a lot of people do. It's no shame in admitting it. Uh, I mean, that's what a lot of video games are geared around, slaughtering fictional people. One thing to remember is that these people are fictional; they are not real. So don't get butthurt over it. And it's not like it gives me any desire to kill people in real life. I mean, I don't need video games to give me such desires. uh, Not that I am planning to kill anyone, because I'm not. If you've called the police on me, or the FBI, CIA, NSA, MI6, whatever it is, Gestapo, Stasi, uh, please do call them back. I haven't murdered anyone. I don't intend to murder anyone. And I hope no one in my audience intends to murder anyone. If you do intend to murder anyone, I advise you that that is a bad idea, because you will certainly regret it eventually, if not right away. So, um, this, I guess, podcast has only been going on for 9 minutes. Might be a short one, or I could make it longer. I'm not really sure as whether I should. So, whew, Uh, Let me think. I could sing a song. I love songs. People love songs. Not everybody loves songs. Some people are uh, displeased at the sound of music, not the movie, but the sound of music itself. Um, generally it's you like some kind of music. Most people, I would say, enjoy some kind of music. I've never actually met anyone that really has a hate for music in all its forms. But there's always a first time, or there's never a time. There's a first time, there's a never a time. Those are the two choices. It's like a computer with its programming. There's the on and off switches on all the bits. As for games I'll be playing, I will perhaps show you how things are going with the module. I might even upload it. In fact, that's what I'm planning to do. I'm planning to upload it once I finish more of the music and iron out a few issues here and there. Um, I might upload it as a so-called open beta to let people know that it's not the finished product, that if people find issues, I will iron them out. If I get any good ideas as to what to do with it, I will deal with it. So what can I talk about? Oh, well, perhaps I could talk about some of the new units I've been adding. Forest bandits, as with other bandits, I've renamed them to give them a more neutral name so that the party is still called Forest Bandits, but the unit itself is called the Forester. I've renamed it because since I've added them to the Swadian troop tree, Swadians will have them in their armies, and it would be a little bit absurd if you saw Swadians running around with a truckload of bandits in their parties. And yeah, that's not what you want to see. It sort of ruins your immersion. I mean, you're wondering, well, these people aren't the best kind of people. Why would you have them in your army? Of course, as players know that some units are pretty good. Okay, farmers upgrade into looters and watchmen as they generally do. So I've switched that up a little bit, so that looters have something to upgrade from, uh, and the villagers that travel between the towns and villages have had an increase in their numbers of both farmers and peasant women, and also whatchamacallit, watchmen. Yes, watchmen. They will have 1 to 5 watchmen in their parties. Um, and caravans, I've increased the numbers of caravan guards. Caravans will have between 1 and 5 caravan masters. Caravan masters upgrade from mercenary cavalry, and they have had improved stats all around, and they also are in possession of a full strange equipment set, so that can be an advantage of attacking caravans. You have a chance of getting the very rare strange equipment sets. And in addition to that, what was I thinking? Mercenary cavalry can also upgrade into the so-called mercenary lancers, uh, who are pretty tough because there's no lances in the strange equipment set. However, not mercenaries, but caravan masters have also a chance of having longbows with arrows, and they actually do quite a bit of damage when they hit you. So that's good to know. Townsmen are also present in caravans now. There will be exactly 10 townsmen in every caravan, and Townsmen can upgrade into Watchmen as they usually do, and they can also upgrade into Manhunters. Manhunters rise up in the ranks as they normally would. The female mercenaries also rise up in the ranks as they normally would. Mercenary crossbowmen cannot be upgraded to from bandits anymore. Looters upgrade into bandits, bandits into brigands, as everyone should know. And from that, I've added above the brigands, I've added pillagers, who are a bit tougher than brigands, and above whom I have robber barons. A robber baron is a very powerful cavalry unit, um, and every party of bandits, for example, troublesome bandits or bandits awaiting ransom, will always have at least one robber baron. Uh, and moving further along, looters can also upgrade into highwaymen. Highwaymen are a bit better than looters. In addition to that, looters have had their equipment changed slightly. I've given them pole arms. I forced them to wear shirts. I've also given them shields and some better throwing weapons. A level 1 player should still be able to deal with a small party of looters. However, if you run into 90 looters, as I have, as in a medium level player, I could not beat them because there were so many. Looters can also upgrade further. From highwaymen. Highwaymen can upgrade into rabble rousers. Each looter party will have from 1 to 5 rabble rousers. Rabble rousers carry usually some two-handed weapons. They have a pilgrim hood. Occasionally, they will carry war darts. Oftentimes, they will have a board shield. Rabble rousers upgrade into zealots. There is a chance that there may be up to one zealot in a looter party. However, the chance is not super high. And the zealots carry a military scythe, a shortened military scythe, and war darts. Zealots wear the pilgrim disguise, the full pilgrim disguise, along with leather boots and leather gloves. However, zealots, which means they don't actually have as much armor as the rabble rousers, who actually have some metal armor. The zealots, however, have massive stats in strength and agility, and also 500 in power, not power throw, that's 10 in power throw, 10 in power strike, also 500 in throwing proficiency, and two-handed, as well as pole arms, which means that they will be pretty powerful in combat. So, however, you will not want to deploy them by themselves, because they are actually, although they may have a lot of health, they don't have a lot of armor, which means that health goes down quickly. But they can still take out a lot of enemies. I just wouldn't want an entire army of them, because if they get swarmed, they get owned. Okay, further on, that's the bandit troop tree and the mercenary troop tree dealt with. So forest bandits, or foresters as they are now called, upgrade into woodsmen, which upgrade into merry men. The merry men have pretty good power draw and good archery skills, so they're good for that. Not much else though. They don't wear heavy armor, so they're a good additional ranged unit for the Swadians, but you don't want to put them into hand-to-hand combat. Um, on the other hand, with the Nords, you've got the Junmen Vikinger or Wikinger, which are what the Sea Raiders are. The Jumnen. I've decided to rename it to that because that's the land that they are supposedly from. They upgrade into Jumnen captains, which I pulled out from the game. They exist in the game code, so I used them, and those upgrade into Jumnen Thanes. The Thanes have equipment similar to that of the Nord Huskarls, but slightly different, and they also have some pretty good skills. So you don't want to face them in a direct fight. The Vigirs or Vigers, they have, as we all know, the Taiga bandits. The base unit of that is the Tiger Pioneer. The Tiger Pioneers upgrade into Tiger Footmen, Tiger Warriors, and Streltsy. Tiger Footmen have a chance of having a crossbow. Tiger Warriors always have a heavy crossbow. And Streltsy have the flintlock pistol, which exists in the game. So I have enabled firearm skills. So uh, choose whether or not you want to invest in that, because the chance of getting the pistol is decent. The chance of getting the cartridges from the Streltsy, not as high. But if you pull it off, I guess it's a good ranged weapon. One thing to note about the Taiga Bandit troop tree is that they are good at both ranged combat as well as melee combat. So, in essence, they are good both offensively ranged and offensively melee, as they carry great bardishes, the Streltsies do, and long great bardiche, and the Taiga warriors carry just regular bardishes and long bardishes, making them rather tough in combat. They also have improved stats, so they are good as a heavy ranged, because they have a slow reload time due to crossbows and pistols. But when going into the actual hand-to-hand combat, they are pretty powerful as well, so they're good for that. However, they don't carry shields, which means that you may be in trouble if you try to use them as shielded units. But of course, when carrying a crossbow or pistol, shields, you don't really need them because you're in ranged combat. So they're good for those things. Furthermore, the mountain bandits, they have been altered, so now they are mountain men. Then there's mountaineers, mountain guardians, and eventually the Highlanders. So there's a slow progression towards the Highlander. The Highlander has 500 in two-handed skill, 10 power strike, and he carries a great sword, and also has a chance of carrying a steel shield and throwing spears, making the Highlander pretty good at fighting. I saw one of my caravan masters, one of my improved caravan masters, get one shot by a Highlander with a sword. So they also have decent armor, so they're good heavy infantry to just send into the mix. The Serenades, they have their equivalent of a Desert Bandits that eventually upgrades into the Desert Shake, which is sort of medium cavalry unit. Similar thing with the Kargets, who have the black Kargets and then the black Karget chieftain. I think that's most of it. I've also increased the values of a lot of food stacks because I know how annoying it can be having to constantly buy food. So I've increased that a little bit. Not too much though. I didn't want it to be a thing where you just buy food once and you've got a million food. That does not make sense. I do not want that to happen. So I did not do that. I also did not change the stats of the tournament participants. I probably could have, but then I realized since I'm not actually improving the stats of a player, I probably shouldn't change the stats of a tournament participants because, I mean, my mod's already getting pretty hard as it is with massive bandit parties. And in addition to that, each bandit party gets between 1 and 5 of their top tier units and a good chance of having a mix of the other units, but the majority of them will definitely be of their base unit. For example, there'll be a lot of looters in a looter party. You may occasionally see Zealots here and there, but don't worry about it. If you have a decent sized party, you should be able to deal with them. So, I guess that's the mod dealt with. I will probably be making some videos and uploading, I suppose I could call it a beta version of a mod. Yeah, I'll call it a beta. And perhaps on ModDB or something else. Perhaps I should make a thread on it on the Tailworlds forum. Might as well. And thank you all for listening to my long ramble and for, I suppose, watching this podcast, which isn't really technically a video. I mean, it's on YouTube. It's more audio with perhaps a picture here and there. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and I will see you all next time. Ha ha! Goodbye.